Welcome to Tale Nuggets. Thank you for listening to Ignis's Hidden Secret. The medium blue shimmered under a double sun, its waters a breathtaking blanket of turquoise and sapphire. Lush vegetation, untouched by any sign of human presence, carpeted the land bordering the glistening expanse. It was a place where order reigned, a symphony of nature conducted by the benevolent dragons who watched over the pristine waters. These dragons, with scales that mirrored the blue hues of their domain, were revered guardians, their presence a silent promise of peace and prosperity. One serene afternoon, the tranquility of the medium blue shattered. A tremor, subtle at first, snaked through the earth, disturbing the serenity. Birds scattered in a flurry of panicked squawks, and the once placid surface of the water rippled with unease. Then, from the cerulean canvas of the sky, a dark object plummeted towards the heart of the expanse. It wasn't a meteor, for it descended with an unnatural slowness, its descent punctuated by an ominous creaking sound. As the object drew closer, its form became discernible. It was an egg, unlike any ever seen. Its surface, instead of being smooth and polished, was a skeletal lattice of bone-white material, pulsating with an eerie inner light. The benevolent dragons, sensing a grave threat, gathered around the plummeting egg, their scales glinting with a steely shimmer in the depth of the ocean. A tense silence hung in the air as the egg splashed down into the heart of the ocean, sending up a geyser of deep blue water. Moments later, the bone-white surface of the egg began to crack, spiderwebs of fissures spreading rapidly across its surface. With a final, resounding crack, the egg shattered, showering the surrounding water with bone fragments. From the wreckage, a figure emerged, shrouded in an ethereal mist. It was a woman, undeniably beautiful, with skin like polished ivory and eyes that mirrored the unsettling inner light of the egg. But there was something about her, a subtle darkness that lurked beneath the surface of her beauty, a predatory glint in her eyes that sent shivers down the spines of even the most seasoned dragons. Before the dragons could react, the woman's form shimmered and contorted, bones shifting and rearranging. With a deafening roar that echoed across the medium blue, she transformed into a magnificent dragon, her scales a pale, unsettling shade that seemed to absorb the light around her. Her wings, vast and membranous, were like tattered shrouds stretched across the sky. This dragon was unlike any they had ever seen, a creature of pure, menacing power that emanated from her very being. The benevolent dragons, momentarily stunned by the transformation, braced themselves for a fight. Yet the white dragon did not attack. Instead, she lowered her head in a semblance of a bow, her voice, smooth and honeyed, resonating across the expanse. "Greetings, fellow guardians," she purred, her words laced with a subtle undercurrent of mockery. "I come in peace, seeking refuge in your idyllic domain." The medium blue guardians, dulled by a sheen of suspicion, exchanged wary glances. Viridian, the eldest of the council and the one with scales the color of the deepest ocean trench, stepped forward. His voice, usually a calming rumble, carried a tremor of unease. "Refuge?" he boomed, the sound rolling across the water. "From what, stranger? This land knows only peace." The white dragon, who called herself Ignis, tilted her head, her crimson eyes gleaming like malevolent embers. "Peace, perhaps," she conceded with a sly smile, "but not tranquility. There is always a hunger that lurks beneath the surface. Wouldn't you agree? A yearning for something more? Something exciting." Viridian narrowed his eyes. Ignis was right. The life there could be considered stagnant. There were whispers among the younger dragons, tales of forgotten lands beyond the medium blue, stories of adventure and conflict. But the council had always discouraged such curiosity, fearing anything that might disrupt the delicate balance of their domain. "We have all we need here," Viridian stated firmly. "There is no need to seek adventure beyond our borders." Ignis let out a long, sinuous laugh, the sound echoing like a hollow wind chime. "Oh, but there is," she countered, her voice dropping to a seductive whisper. "There is so much more than you can imagine. Lands of fire and ice, of metal and dust, and power. Power beyond anything you've ever known." A collective shudder ran through the younger dragons. They were drawn to Ignis's words, the promise of something thrilling, something that challenged the monotony of their existence. The elders, however, remained wary. They felt a disharmony in Ignis, a hidden discord that clashed with the symphony of the land. Viridian, sensing the growing rift between the generations, spoke again. "We value our peace, Ignis. It is the foundation of our society. We cannot accept anything that might threaten it." Ignis, with a flick of her tail that sent ripples across the turquoise water, took a step closer. "Peace," she scoffed, the word dripping with distaste. "Is it truly peace when it comes at the cost of stagnation, of ignorance? You are guardians, supposedly protectors. But what good are guardians who cower behind a wall of complacency?" Her words stung, finding a seed of doubt in the minds of the younger dragons. Viridian, sensing the danger, knew a decision had to be made. He could either banish Ignis and risk rebellion amongst the younger guardians, or allow her to stay and hope they could see through her charade. The choice was a gamble, and the stakes were high. "Very well," Viridian finally sighed. "You may stay, but be warned, Ignis, we will be watching you closely. Any attempt to disrupt our harmony will not be tolerated." A triumphant smile bloomed on Ignis's crimson face. "Thank you, guardians," she purred, her voice dripping with faux gratitude. "I assure you, you won't regret your decision." As Ignis flew closer to the water, her colour now more a colour of mud, a question lingered in the air, heavy and unspoken. Was it truly peace Ignis sought, or something far more sinister? Leaving the wary dragons behind, she banked sharply, her powerful wings slicing through the air with a sound like tearing silk. Her destination lay hidden in a secluded corner, a place where the vibrant turquoise of the water gave way to murky shadows. Here, half buried in the mud, were more eggs, identical to the one from which Ignis had emerged, their skeletal exteriors pulsing with an unsettling inner light. "These," she announced, her voice laced with anticipation, "are the seeds of our future. These are your new kin." Suddenly, a tremor shook the earth. The twin suns, usually a source of serene light, seemed to flicker and dim. A crack, sharp and definitive, split the egg in Ignis's talons. But what emerged wasn't a beautiful woman destined to transform into another dragon. From the heart of the chaos, a single monstrous silhouette rose into the night sky. It was no longer Ignis, nor any dragon. It was a being of pure darkness, its form ever-shifting, its claws reaching out like grasping claws. The fate of the medium blue, whether it remained a sanctuary of peace or became a breeding ground for a fearsome legion, hung in the balance.